Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Monday, October 20th. Catch us live on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook Make sure to check out that Twitch handle at dfrizzy_frizz5. Subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Also, if you're just watching live and want to catch the full show tomorrow, Apple, Spotify, anywhere you get a podcast, we are there for you. Good show for you today. Lots of NFL on the front end. We have a little yin-yang segment right off the jump. Me and D opposing forces. One is going to be a pessimist. Take a guess who that's going to be. One's going to be a little more optimistic. And then on the back half, we're going to creep our way into the NBA season as it starts tomorrow, which is crazy to think. We'll talk a little NBA on the back end. D, what it do?
What up? What up? What up? Happy Monday, man. Happy Monday. What a weekend we just had. What a weekend we just had.
What a weekend. And by the way, before we started the show, I was looking at some of the analytics because they have all the analytics for the podcast and stuff. You know who's our third biggest listener now?
Like country-wise?
Yeah.
Canada.
Japan. Konnichiwa, bitches.
I'm talking about, baby. Let's go.
I don't know where that came from, but konnichiwa to all y'all in Japan. I love that.
That's dope. That's dope. I haven't looked at those in a while. I feel like I need to start pulling the numbers again.
Yeah, man. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Sports absolutely sucked. Louisiana, unfortunately, the state.
Forgot about that.
We got our shit pushed in with LSU. Not a fun week for that. And then the Saints got absolutely smacked. So, we're rumbling, hoping that we put out a decent product next week. I don't have any faith and confidence in it, but that's the hope.
I feel bad for you because D, if you're not aware, D Sports Allegiances are LSU football. I would say LSU football is probably your number one.
Yes.
LSU football is number one, which they just took a tough loss to Vanderbilt, which, to be fair, Vanderbilt has a very good team this year. Not a traditional football powerhouse, but a good team this year that pretty much eliminates you from the
national. They had already been eliminated, but yes.
They were eliminated 2 years ago when they got Brian Kelly.
3, but yes.
Been that long. And he also likes the Saints, who we don't talk about in the show because they're bad. And I said tongue in cheek to D on a text after that. I'm like, well, basketball season starts soon. You're a Lakers fan. I'm sure that's going to go well for you as well.
Probably not. Probably not either. But, I'm, again, optimistic. I'm the positive vibes guy today. So it was a bad week for Louisiana sports. We're hoping that tomorrow is a good night for Los Angeles, and then we head into the weekend and we have some good football ahead of us. So I'm the positive guy.
All right, well, let's get right into our positive negative, shall we? So our NFL talk this week is going to be structured as follows. D is going to talk about 5 things he is optimistic about heading into the second half of the NFL season. Maybe he's seen a few things and he's feeling really positive about certain players, coaches, teams, whatever. He is a free-for-all of what he wants to do. I'm picking 5 things personally that I'm giving up on. I'm done with you. Get out of my life. I don't ever want to see you again. Do you want to start with the good or the bad?
Let me throw out a positive real quick because this is kind of
just thinking we could do your 5 and my 5, or my 5 and your 5.
You want to go right a tap back and forth?
No, I want to go full negative, full positive.
Wow, that's a lot of. You go first then, and then I'll bring everybody back up with the negative.
I'll start with the negative. So this is my 5 NFL things I'm giving up on this season. My first one, and it was the easiest one, and I'm surprised I haven't. Listen, I'm just going to say this right now because things change rapidly in the news cycle. Yep. You're recording this, and I'm saying this at 8:23 Monday night. I'm surprised Mike McDaniel still has a coaching job. I swore to you during the game, the Dolphins game, that there's no chance he has a job by Monday night. This is a absolute disaster.
Yeah.
We loved Mike McDaniels as a head coach because he was fun. He was quirky. He had the glasses. He's an offensive guru. Man, when all that magic dust goes away, this is lame. I've heard some crazy stories the past couple of weeks, and I don't know. And I want to talk to you about this prior chance. I was seeing stories from prior or former Dolphins players. Now, again, I don't know how much you can take with like former player from this says this because
they're already out the door.
They're out the door. There's grudges, but there was talk about You know who's always up late to meetings all the time?
The coach.
Tua Tagovailoa. Your
Oh,
leader guy is the guy showing up late to meetings, quarterback meetings, showing up late to offensive meetings. Your coach has no respect in the building. Players are having only meetings every week. Nobody's been happy since week 1. This is a disaster. I'm giving up as Mike McDaniels as a head coach, not just for the Dolphins, but for the rest of time. I'm out on him as a leader of men.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a meme, unfortunately, or like a meme video. I think it was last year. So prior to this dumpster fire that they put on the field this year, but it was like Mike McDaniel coaches, like his father owns the team and he's out of town. And like I can't I've never unthought of that because of it. Like here you go, man, just take the keys and like just don't let the place burn down. Like he has that kind of vibe to me for me since I've seen that. And I was like, it's so true. Like he just doesn't look like he fits the part of an NFL coach, like you said, of men. Maybe he vibes better with like the younger, like if he was in college coaching like this, like more not Lane Kiffin, but the guy that's Lane Kiffin. My apologies. Yeah, I don't know. Lane Kiffin's in Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that type of vibe, like younger, just more like sprung, whatever word you want to use for it. Just like I feel like he vibes well more with that versus the 37-year-old left tackle that's been doing this for 15 years, and he's trying to be like, "Yo, man, we need to run stretch." No. Let's run wildcat. See if it works. Like I feel like it's not working for him.
I'm surprised at this point he's not getting the Liam Cohen treatment of disrespect with the quarterback waving him off, being like, "Get the fuck out of here, man," because it seems like it's there with this team and this coaching staff. And there's one thing, like you can be a loser, and I mean, not in a sense of like being a loser, but like losing games. And you could be Dan Campbell with the Lions when he first started, and that team was a bunch of losers.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell's coming to the mic saying he's going to bite kneecaps and like punch you in the face. Still, they're probably like 1-8 at the time, but he's still Dan Campbell. Like you can tell there's something there. People will rally around that personality. McDaniels just doesn't have that personality, and that's fine, right? But like when things are tough and you need someone to be the figurehead and rally the troops, he's not the guy. It was fine to be that type of guy and that type of personality when you're winning, but who is going to rally the troops and keep the belief in the team?
It's almost like he'd rather be like on the beach somewhere, like that. Like that's like his, like for me, his vibe. Like yeah, we'll be all right. Like he's perfect for being a South Florida coach because like that
because their fans don't care and don't show up to the games.
I guess that too. Like I highly doubt the Hard Rock is selling out on a weekly basis. So like it's more like, oh, this is a job. Like when this is over, I'm going back to the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it feels like he's walking around. Not, oh, I might get fired and I might not have a job tomorrow. Like I don't think there's any sense of urgency whatsoever behind him.
And by the way, I wanted to extend this to giving up on Tua because I've given up on Tua as well as a quarterback, but I don't think the Dolphins can give up on him because of the contract. Good for him securing the bag when he did. But if you've watched any of the game last week and the week before, he ain't it, man. I could probably name 23 quarterbacks in the league I'd rather have as my starting quarterback right now than Tua.
In this specific situation, I don't say that I would take Spencer Rattler over many quarterbacks, but I would not take Tua Tagovailoa over Spencer Rattler right now. There's no chance.
No.
And that's saying something right now.
They have one win, and it's against the winless Jets.
Mm. And that wasn't a pretty one.
Speaking of the winless Jets,
what else?
My second pessimistic point of the day, I'm giving up on Justin Fields as an NFL quarterback. Not as an NFL starter, not as a backup, as a quarterback as a whole in the NFL. I just don't. We have defended this man for going on 5 years now. Oh, well, they didn't use him right in Chicago. Oh, he goes, they were treating him poorly in Chicago. They wanted him out of town anyways. They want to get Caleb Williams. Oh, Steelers, he had a great start at the Steelers. Why did they go to Russell Wilson? Whatever, Mike Tomlin's an idiot. Well, he's winning with Russell Wilson. It's okay. We still believe in Justin Fields. He gets a starting job with the Jets. The man is not an NFL quarterback. Can we just admit it at this point as a community? He can run the ball. He's a good NFL running back, maybe, but he is not an NFL quarterback, man. He does not drive winning. He might drive your fantasy team to winning. He might put up some fantasy points, but like getting W's on the field, he's not that guy. We've seen it in 3 spots now. And I just don't think he has a future in this league at this point. For what he's put on tape, this man is going to be unemployable in the future.
I'm not ready to say that yet. I'm not going to say I disagree with you. I'm just not ready to say it yet because look at where he's been, right? Like Chicago for 3 years with, I think, 4 different head coaches and like 6 different offensive coordinators in 3 years.
Can I stop you there?
Hold on. I know this, what you're going to say is excuse, but what I'm saying is that little bit of stint that he had in Pittsburgh where he had a structure, he had talent around him, and a coach that says, this is what the hell you're going to do, he was moderately successful.
And they traded that away for 48-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than him. I will 100% say that, but that doesn't mean that he's one of the worst in the NFL. We just talk about Tua Tagovailoa. But with the Jets, there is nothing there. Nothing. I don't care what you say about Breece Hall. I don't care about what you say about Garrett Wilson. Mason Taylor really hasn't done anything. He had one good game a couple weeks ago. That Jets defense isn't the greatest, and I hope Matt, Higgins is watching. Like, the team is bad. Coached bad. New head coach, obviously, but it's a bad. He's been on very bad teams his entire career. And I don't want to, I'll foreshadow, but there's also somebody that's been on had been on a very bad team, went to a more structured team, and is seeing success. So I'm not ready to punt on him yet, but I understand the point for it. So, like, I'm not going to agree, but I'll least
next year.
That's the thing is there's not going to be the spots that he needs to go. They already have it secured already. They just got it done because of Baker Mayfield becoming a household name, Sam Darnold helping out, going from Minnesota to Seattle, Daniel Jones going to Indianapolis. Like, those places that he needed to go to, they just got filled. So it's not going to be easy for him to be a starting quarterback should he go somewhere else outside of the Jets. But he's not going to be successful in New York. No chance.
How damning would it be if I told you that reports are coming out now that players within the organization came to Aaron Glenn, the head coach, and said, please do not put in Justin Fields. We want Tyrod as our quarterback. There are people within the building before this weekend, before, like, many weeks back, we're talking like week 1, week 2, lobbying for Tyrod Taylor, who, albeit has had a great career as a journeyman, but it's Tyrod freaking Taylor. And they do not want Justin Fields as their quarterback. So that speaks volumes to, like, not only is he not producing wins, but he's not winning over his team with his play.
Yeah, the locker room part is huge. I can't defend that. If the guys in the actual locker room are saying that we'd rather have X over Y, it doesn't matter what they're saying up top as an ownership or a coaching staff. Like, you play harder for the people that you want on the field. That's just how football is.
So I don't know. Me personally, if I was an NFL GM, I would have no interest going forward. I don't think he'll make a roster after this year. I think it's done.
Like I said, I'm not ready to give up, but I'm not going to say I disagree with you either.
All right, my third grudge, my third pessimistic point.
Oh, a lot of negatives already.
I'm giving up on the NFL London games. I'm tired of it, D. It's 9:30 in the morning. I'm texting my boy D about the game, and he's like, bruh, I got to do grocery shopping. People have lives, NFL, right? Like, we can't give you 18 hours on a Sunday. We got to do shit in the morning, okay? So you're asking me to give you my valuable time on Sunday, NFL, Roger Goodell, and you're giving me shit to watch. Every single goddamn NFL London game is awful. They've been awful matchups on paper, and then finally this weekend, they're like, hey, guess what, guys? We got the Rams versus the Jaguars, 2 pretty good teams. Want to check it out? I'm like, you know what? I think you got me, Raj. I think I'm sucked in. And it's like 35-0 at the half. And I'm like, great. So this is the one game that you give me that has 2 good teams on paper, and this is the product I get. NFL London games, stop it. And listen, I know there's East Coast bias. There's people on the other side of the United States. It's like 5 in the morning.
6 in the morning kickoff.
They're not watching that, man. I get the idea, like, we got to spread the product to Europe and get more people interested, but, like, we're the base in America here. We love us some football. They love them football too over there, over in Europe, but not the same type of football. Can we just give up on this and, like, cut back on the NFL Europe games?
You know, the first two, like I said, I'm trying to spin some positivity in there, but I think I'm a hard agree
See,
with you on this one.
the guy in the chat knows too. Thank you. Make a change.
Like the reason being is for what you just started off as an example. I was busy. I cannot. We are, for those that are new to listening to us, we are two fathers that have wife and kids. We don't have the ability to provide to the NFL 18 hours of just straight football watching. As much as I would love that, we don't have the time. So when you kick off at 9:30, yeah, they're still getting the crust out of their eyes, like they're trying to get, they're finish their breakfast. But 10 o'clock, 10:30, we're out the house. We got shit to do so that I can make the 1 p.m. window.
Yeah.
The plan, the goal for the last 37 years of my life was to get everything done before 1 o'clock so I can be ready for the 1 o'clock games. So when you put that window to 9:30, it's like, all right, man, like we're just not going to be able to recap anything that happened in this game because I can't watch it. I just don't have the time, unfortunately.
I love that you went with 37 years. So now I'm imagining like a baby D like trying to finish his ball. Be like, shit, the 1 o'clock games are starting soon.
We gotta start this, and that was when football was on Saturdays on certain times too when I was younger. But yeah, no, I can't. I'm with you. This one, I will agree. I love the fact that they're spreading the game. I love that because those stadiums are packed. We got and it's always like not just like the home and the away team. Like it's everybody that's wearing an NFL jersey. Like it's working. It's just not working for those that are like the people that got shit to do. We wait till Sunday being the thing that we go do that before 1 o'clock. And then 9:30 kickoff.
I think Matt agrees with us, man. No one likes these 9 o'clock kickoffs. Get out of here with this, please. All right, my next negative take. I got two more. I'm giving up on the Vikings quarterback room. I know you were like, oh, man, it's the resurgence of Carson Wentz. Let's go. Man, it's Carson Wentz. It's Carson Wentz. Don't fool yourself, D. There's a reason why he's Carson Wentz. We saw it this weekend with the 2-pick game. One was a pick six that pretty much cost him the game. And J.J. McCarthy has been in the NFL for like 18 years and has played 4 games. I know it's Sam Darnold. I know that they looked at themselves in the mirror and said, it's Sam freaking Darnold. We can do better. But can you? Can you do better, Vikings? Because this is a good team. Like they have a roster, man. They got a ferocious defense, a good defensive coordinator, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. Like they have good pieces, and they decided, you know what would be better? J.J. McCarthy. That would be better. I'm giving up in this quarterback room. They need to reevaluate what their priorities are this offseason and spend some money. Get an actual quarterback like Sam Darnold back.
He ain't coming back, but
I know. You know what I mean? Like, come on. This is bad.
They've missed. They swung and missed and I was trying to think of who the quarterback was before Kirk Cousins that they had as the first dude that threw unfortunately, the situation with the
Kirk Cousins,
the Stephon Diggs pass on the sideline against the Saints in the playoffs, please. But there was one quarterback. I feel like he played for Houston in college. I just can't remember his name. I think it starts with the letter K. Can't remember though. And then you had Kirk Cousins, and then you had Sammy D. Like you had decent. You had decent quarterback.
Case Keenum is what you're thinking of.
Case Keenum, yes. Like
he loved Teddy before that.
Like they've had good quarterback play, and then they threw it all away to invest into a Michigan-led quarterback not named Tom Brady. Like J.J. McCarthy might have played quarterback for one of the best defensive teams in college football history. That Michigan defense, the year that they won a national championship, he played quarterback for them. And it wasn't like he was a Heisman Trophy winner. He just happened to not make mistakes and play alongside a John Harbaugh team, Jim Harbaugh, one of the Harbaughs, one of the Harbaugh coach teams that had one of the best college football defenses in the country. So, like, when you invest into that, we're going to trade up and we're going to draft him and we're going to start him right away. And then we're like, oop, let's not start him right away. Let's put in Sammy D.
He's had a ankle injury for about 4 weeks now. I'm doing air quotes for those listening on podcasts.
Yeah, so I've heard that too, that they are trying to like see what they can get out of Carson Wentz.
If you draft a quarterback,
he's not the guy. I said this when he got drafted. He's not the guy.
right?
But yes, that's what I've heard too.
If you draft a quarterback in the first round, you're like, maybe we can get some juice out of Carson Wentz. That is a fucking red flag right there.
100%. And I'm a Wentz fan. I wanted to see it work. I was on the Wentz wagon to be like, look, I think he's got a chance to have a resurgence, but the pick 6 was the one that I looked at. I was like, that's an ugly throw, Carson. Like you can't afford to make that type throwing across your body late in the middle of the field against the Eagles Super Bowl winning defense. Like, I don't care who's injured. The Eagles have always had a great defense leading all the way back to like the Brian Dawkins days. Like, you can't do that. And when he made that throw, I was like, that's the throw that makes people go, all right, you're a lifetime backup for the rest of your career now, unfortunately.
It's crazy too, because with this Vikings team, it's like to Nate's point in the chat, right? Like, Kirk Cousins was actually a decent quarterback for them, and they had a good roster around him, like the best they've done. And like, I don't want to be too critical of Kirk Cousins because like he was
good.
Solid.
He was a solid regular season quarterback.
If that Vikings team ever had a top 10 quarterback, like they would be a serious problem over the past 7-8 years, but they've never had that.
Yes.
So
when they had a top 10 quarterback, he happened to throw an interception to Tracy Porter that led to an overtime field goal to send the Saints to the Super Bowl. So appreciate you, Brett Favre. The one and only ring that we got came because of you. I really appreciate you, big dog.
Please, just before we get off the subject, please tell me you're off the Carson Wentz narcotic. Like you're
yeah, I said it. I was on the Wentz wagon. I've had to jump off, unfortunately, because it was that pick 6. It was that throw, and I was like, I can't defend that. Like, I can do everything with like, hey, you had a torn knee. You were essentially an MVP of a Super Bowl winning team. Like that team was going to win the Super Bowl with him. They won it with Nick Foles. Carson Wentz was going to lead that team to a Super Bowl. It was going to happen, and he got injured. And then he became a journeyman because he was never the same. And I was like, this is his chance. He started off good. I think it was like 6 touchdowns, 2 picks. And then the Eagles game put it in perspective. Be like, he still has that turnover mentality, unfortunately. Hasn't killed it yet.
All right, for my last negative Nancy point.
A whole bunch of negatives.
Shout out to the chat. Like, keep it coming. You guys are hot today. I love it. My last thing I'm giving up on for this season. I'm giving up on the new look Las Vegas Raiders, and I was trying to pinpoint.
Bring him back to Oakland.
Send him back to Oakland. Exactly. I was trying to pinpoint exactly. I was like, do I blame it on the coach? Do I blame it on Gino? Do I blame it on what? Just all of you. You just get the hell out of here. I have the craziest stat in front of me from this weekend. As you know, they played the Chiefs this weekend. Got the doors blown off. I think it was 35-0, 33-0 as the final. Don't get the next exact number. These are 2 legitimate stats. The Raiders this weekend had the second lowest number of offensive plays in NFL history.
Ooh.
They took 30 offensive snaps. Another stat. The Kansas City Chiefs had more first downs this weekend than the Las Vegas Raiders took offensive snaps.
Ooh.
That is ugly.
That's it. Oh, that's not good at all. Who's the coach out there? No,
Pete
that's
Carroll.
not. That's Pete Carroll. It is Pete Carroll. Oh man, when his gum on his side.
Again, I think we mentioned this before. I think they believe Pete Carroll still has some juice because he chews the gum so quickly. You think he still got some pep in his step, but why are we doing retreads? Why are we hiring 70-year-old coaches? Geno Smith was not the guy for this offense. They addressed 0 issues. Listen, you and me both, you more than me, we're both Ashton Genty fans in college, the way he played.
Hold on.
What?
They brought up, just because you said Geno Smith, I know you're going to make a point about Ashton.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
They said they played a clip after this Chiefs game of Geno Smith saying, they wrote me off and I ain't write them back. And everybody since has been like, you might want to write everybody back now. So wrong. Well, go ahead. I had to get that one off because I'm probably
you deserve your roses. Thank you, Kawhi. That was paid for by Aspiration, by the way.
Love to hear it.
But no, we both liked Ashton Genty coming out of the draft. Who in their right mind? Even we dog on the Patriots. I know there's Patriots fans here. Even the Patriots had the self-awareness to say, you know what we should do with our first round pick? We should probably draft an offensive lineman because those are kind of important. Oakland Raiders with the worst offensive line last year goes, you know what we should draft?
Running back.
Oh, running back to go behind that bad offensive line. That'll fix everything. GM, you got to go. Coach, you got to go. Quarterback, you got to go. You know what? Tom Brady, you just got in there as an owner.
Get him out of there.
Get your ass out of here too, all right? Like the Raiders, I'm giving up on everything they have going on right now. Just everything.
There's nothing to disagree with on that one. They are there are very few teams that I can look at and go, they are worse than the Saints. I know like that's not the measuring stick, but the Saints are 1-6, right? There are teams that have more wins that I'm looking at. I'm like, there's no way this team is better than them, right? Like the Saints are losing competitive games.
Saints are better than the Raiders.
Yes. The Raiders look like dog shit, like bad. Offense, defense, special teams, whatever it is that you want to say. That game against the Chiefs this weekend was like disrespectful to the game of football. Like the Chiefs look great, make them right back to looking like a Super Bowl contender because of how bad the Raiders looked.
I would say, is there a more disappointing team this year than the Raiders? Because I think some people thought the Raiders. I think some people thought the Raiders would have like a sneaky case for like in the hunt, maybe 7th seed. This has to be the most disappointing team because like we knew the Jets would be bad, we knew the Dolphins would be bad, we knew the Saints would be bad.
I think the Texans might have something to say.
You know what? That's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point.
Same division too, so like who knows?
All right, I am done.
Different division. My apologies.
I am done being negative. So we're gonna switch it up. I'm done being my pessimist. D, I want to hear your 5 NFL things you're optimistic on. I will not touch the board. You can click on whatever ones you want in whatever order you want.
So I know we've talked about old guys when it comes to quarterbacks, but I'm starting this one off and saying I am on the positive vibe with the Bengals.
Oh, all right. This is spicy.
Hear me out with this one. Look, Joe Flacco has nothing to play for besides if this were basketball, going out there and just getting buckets.
Can I ask you a question really quick? I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Game for your life, Joe Flacco or Tua Tagovailoa?
I mean, is that really a question? Like Joe Flacco he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a Super Bowl MVP, and he's got all the money that he needs in the world. All he has to do is just go out there, be a 40-year-old quarterback, sling that rock. He did that in Cleveland, and like he had back-to-back 300-yard, 3-touchdown games in Cleveland. And now you give him like the best offensive roster he has ever had. I'm talking Chase Brown as your running back. Like that's the start. He's good. Not great, but he's good. But then you got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, not including any tight end that you have out there that's going to catch up. Noah Fant's decent. Andre Yoshifas. I know Yoshifas, I think is what it is. I'm going to say it wrong. I apologize.
That's solid pronunciation.
Joe Flacco has the best offensive team he has ever had. And he doesn't lose his gunslinger mentality. He's letting that pick go. And you also want to know something? Look, take a page out of the Joe Flacco playbook. There's a guy on the roster. He's number 1 on offense. The back of his jersey says Chase. When you snap the ball, all you have to do is look at him and just throw it. Flacco was like, all right, word. Is that simple? Cool. The man had like 30 targets. 17. Well, let me get the exact numbers so I don't disrespect this. 23 targets, 16 catches,
that's
160 yards. And like, it wasn't like he was like double teamed and he was forcing it. No, Jamar's going to get open. And the fact that like Jake Browning couldn't do this is insane. So like I am all in with this Bengals offense. I'm not ready to say that they're back, but the offense, buy high on Joe Flacco. Joe, don't trade Chase, keep him. Higgins, don't trade him. All those fantasy, whatever you're going to do, this offense is going to look great for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. And just looking back one week prior, I know it wasn't a huge performance, 18 points, but against a decent defense in the Packers, which, you know, we can disagree if we want on the Packers defense. And Joe Flacco got there in a short week. I think he got there midweek. He had 4 days or 3 days of preparation. So their upcoming schedule, the Jets, okay. The Bears, the Steelers again. They are, 2 games behind the Steelers for the division? Like, can Joe Flacco, Can Joe Flacco win the other game against the Steelers? Can Joe Flacco beat the Jets? Having a halfway competent quarterback, like not Joe Flacco is not. I don't want to disrespect him. He has a great career. He's not good at this point, but he's competent.
Yes.
It's just
it's not top 10, but he's certainly top 15 right now.
I raise my hand and just say I was wrong. I thought Jake Browning was a good backup quarterback. He's right there with Justin Fields with me at this point. Do not come near my roster. Do not pass go. Go straight to jail, my friend. Like quarterback jail, you are done. I'm with you. The positive vibes in this Bengals offense. We know that it's explosive. They will be in games. And again, all he's got to do is keep the ship afloat. That's all he's got to do. A couple more weeks. It's possible, man. It is possible. And I saw Lamar again, a big O tag for this week. So I think they've taken our advice in Baltimore and put him on ice.
Yeah.
I think he's done. Like this might be a thing. The Bengals might have life now.
Yeah, like I said, this is just the first one. Let's try to rip them off with a couple more. Next one. Look, this is for all of the GBA guys that are from New York. I appreciate you letting me be in the 2K league. But when it comes to football, I'm saying I am extremely high on Jackson Dart's future now. Look, hear me out. As an SEC guy, I said it for years. He's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. 1 week, he can go off for 500 yards, 6 touchdowns, and then the next week, he could go off for 203 picks. I don't care. I don't. Oh, did I click that, or did you click it?
I clicked it. I don't think you're disrespecting the man by not spelling his name correctly.
Oh, whatever. Sorry, my apologies. Thank you for fixing the typo. I am sold on his future because I don't care if he plays reckless. I don't care. He brings excitement to the New York Giants game. Does he have a great combo buddy with Cam Scatterboo? Absolutely. Do I think this team would be even scarier on offense if Malik Neighbors was there? Yes. But he's got Wan'Dale Robinson looking like an all-pro, right? He's getting him that pig. So, and the biggest issue that he causes is he's still dual threat. And I know we like to throw that sneaky tag out there to white boy quarterbacks. No, he's an athletic quarterback where you go ahead and play man, he's taking off. You play zone, he's going to fit the ball where it needs to go. So I don't care that he threw that stupid interception that lost him the game. It did. Whatever. I don't care.
Against a good team, though, against the Broncos in Denver.
He had the lead, 19-0 in the fourth quarter. I am okay with that. As a coach, if he throws that pick, I'm looking at it, I'm going, hey, dumbass, don't do that again. But you played a great game. You played a great last couple of weeks. You've energized this team. So for the future, when he got drafted, I was like, hey, like he might have been a little bit too high. I understand he was, I think he was a first rounder.
End of the first round,
yeah. I was like, he could be a second rounder, but like I'm looking at this now and be like, yeah, that's good value for his pick for where he's at in New York. And they already got a defensive end at the beginning of the draft too. So it's like they didn't overdraft him by getting him late in the first round.
For a bad team. I mean, for a mediocre team, like wouldn't say they're bad. They're not a bottom feeding team, the Giants. But for like a team that's not a winning team right now, they were in the perfect situation because they have all the hardest questions answered. Do you have a quarterback? Do you have a defensive line that can pass rush? Yes. Do you have a decent offensive line? Yes. Okay, get some linebackers, some DBs, like
the weapons.
Those are the easy questions. By the way, did you see the win probability on that game?
Was it like 99.9%?
You know they have the charts of like win percentage, win probability. It's like a heart attack in the game. I don't know if you can see it. Do you see the dip on that thing?
Oh, the drop. Yeah, beep. Yeah.
That was the game of the weekend. The Giants versus.
It's fun to watch, and this isn't a positive, vibe.
By the way,
okay, go ahead.
By the way, if we want to criticize Jackson Dart's recklessness, you can look on the other side of the ball. Another guy that drafted in the first round, Bo Nix, because they are like Spider-Man memes as far as like doing some crazy shit on the field.
But
go ahead.
They got their guys, and that's what you want is you have. And I'm not. It's not on my positive list. So for you Patriots fans, this is part of it. Patriots got their guy when it comes to Drake May. Broncos got their guy with Bo Nix. Yeah. The Giants got their guy with Jackson Dart. Like you have your guy. Now it's you find like what New England did. You find the pieces to fit around. You got your offensive line, best tackle in college football last year, Will Campbell. Then you got a running back out of Ohio State, and you got Stephon Diggs to come in while you still having Kayshon Boutte, who was pretty good at LSU. You got surrounding pieces. You got a couple of tight ends, right? With Bo, that team was already established. They have a nasty defensive secondary, one of the best defensive lines in the league. They grabbed a running back. I know he hasn't really lived up to it with RJ Harvey, but they still have a run game, and they have wideouts. The Giants are now on the if Dayball can keep his job.
Dabo Swinney keeping his job, my friend.
Yeah, he's out of there. But Dayball, Brian Dayball.
Brian Dayball. If he can not outmanage Jackson Dart, meaning he doesn't get him hurt, he'll keep his job. And that will build the future. Listen, I want to take this conversation off the rails right now.
Oh boy, here we go.
Brian Dayball got his claim to fame by working with and developing one,
Josh Allen.
Bills quarterback Josh Allen. I don't want to get too crazy, but you compare Jackson Dart year one to another white mobile quarterback in Josh Allen in year one. Jackson Dart is light years ahead of where Josh Allen started. I'm just saying, man, like this could be the real deal here.
Josh Allen was a project. Jackson Dart ain't no project. You know what you're getting out of him. It's going to be recklessness. It's fine.
That's what you said about Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's cleaned that shit up.
He did. So yeah, I like I said, positive vibes for you New Yorkers, not the Jersey side.
Future MVP. I'm saying it right now.
I'm not going that route, but I am going to say that you got your guy, and that you should. Doesn't matter what your record is this year. This isn't the year you're winning the Super Bowl. Doesn't matter. This is the year that you get just get the experience under his belt, so that next year people go, oh crap, this is a team that we got to mess around with.
Can I just call out my boy Cam Scadaboo?
Yeah,
that man is a psychopath.
Insane.
Just really quick, my man had a free run to the end zone, like there was no one there, and he decided, you know what he's gonna do?
I want to do that.
I'm gonna lower my shoulder in the end zone and knock someone over just for the hell of it. He's like, you know what? The way I play doesn't get enough CTE. Let me just get a couple more head nods in before the game's over.
Cam Scadaboo is going to have the greatest 2-year stint in the NFL because by year 3, before his first contract, his brain is going to be scrambled.
But I love the way he plays, man. I'm
not mad at it. As a former football player, I'm going to look at that and be like, that's the dude that I'm a defensive guy. I look at and be like, damn it. I got to go tackle him. And if I'm on the offensive side, he's on my team, be like, yeah, go ahead and try to tackle that motherfucker. like I don't want to. I will hand it off to him. But like, yes, he's that annoying type of running back.
We talked about Mike McDaniels at the beginning of the show being like a non-motivator. A guy like Cam Scadaboo running like that, he's gonna get your team fired up, and I love it. All right, what's your next positive vibe play?
So I gotta flip the script because again, I'm not saying that these guys are a Super Bowl contender. I'm not gonna do that. But I had been on this show saying that I was out on the 49ers. I got to give props to do. My positive vibe and me believing is Kyle Shanahan's coaching. It does not matter who he has on the field. This coach, this guy is going to find a way to win. So I've tried to say, 49ers window is closed. McCaffrey's done. Brock Purdy's not that guy. And it doesn't matter. Like, we got a quarterback out there that named Mac Jones, who was left for dead in New England.
Put some respect on that man's name. He's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, like now he's got scrambling touchdowns. Like, what are we doing? But like, they got Brock Purdy out. Ricky Pearsall's out. Their starting left tackle is out. Starting left defensive end is out. Fred Warner's on IR. Like, piece after piece after piece is just injured. And Kyle Shanahan's like, it don't matter. We're just going to go out there and win. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We're going to go out there. We're going to play our game. We're going to run. Christian McCaffrey had like the most rushing yards he's had in like the last 3 years last night. They just, I don't care if it was a 10-point victory against the Falcons. They shouldn't be winning these games. They got 70% of their roster out. And they're just like, don't matter. I understand Juwan Jennings came back. Let's feed him. Man went off. Right? Mac Jones is the quarterback. And he looks like he's a resurged quarterback, which is going to make you go, do we start Brock or do we keep Mac out there? Like, this is not a bad problem to have. So my vibe check, positive-wise, is Kyle Shanahan is just he's a great coach, and it doesn't matter what's out there. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but like if the 49ers make the playoffs, you got to worry about them. Nobody wants to go down a candlestick and play.
Can I make the most absurd Christian McCaffrey MVP case?
Go ahead.
MVP to me is an award based on how important are you to your team and your team's success in generating wins. There is no running back in the league, and I'm including Saquon Barkley, that means more to their offense than Christian McCaffrey in the way Kyle Shanahan uses this man. Shanahan, yes, he schemes guys open in the pass, but his primary juice is a very unique zone blocking, pulling run game, and that only works with Christian McCaffrey. We've mentioned all the guys injured this year. Hear me out. What is the one name you didn't mention as injured?
I missed somebody.
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
and they have had tremendous success this year because they have one Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I know we don't give it to running backs, but I think Christian McCaffrey does have a fringe MVP case based on how this team's performing and what he means to them. And by the way, I know you want to give positive vibes to Kyle Shanahan. I think also who needs major props on this 49ers team. You mentioned all the defensive injuries. Robert Saleh was ran out of New York as being a bad coach.
Quick.
As soon as they dropped him from the Jets. That team in New York went downhill fast. Their defense went to the shitter. And he goes to the 49ers with a ton of missing pieces. And this team's defense is still scary.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good shout for it. Maybe I should have just said the 49ers coaching staff because they're I forgot that Robert Saleh is the defensive coordinator there.
It's crazy, man. Like coaching means so much in football as far as schematics and how you use guys. And no matter what the 49ers face, they can still find ways to pull out wins.
All right. You ready for the next one?
Is this number 4 or 5 for you?
Number 4. We got one more after this one. I think I'm gonna skip the one that I had. I'm gonna leave that one for last. But for me, vibe check wise, the next one is this. We keep talking about older quarterbacks. I don't know how he just manages to do it. He just lost one of, if not the best, I'll say top 3 receivers in the league right now. I'm going Matthew Stafford. Look, man, you're talking about Christian McCaffrey being an MVP candidate. Have you looked at Matthew Stafford's numbers for the season?
No.
Okay, so let me get the exacts for you because he's wheeling and dealing as a 37-year-old quarterback.
Was it 4 or 5 tutties this weekend?
I think it was 4. 3 of them Tavante Adams. So this year he's got 67% completion percentage, 1,800 yards, 17 touchdowns, 2 picks.
That's crazy.
Like he's out there dealing in Los Angeles. I think Matthew Stafford has always been like, they'll say the underachiever. Even if he won the Super Bowl, they're like, he should have been more. He's the number 1 overall pick. And we've written the Rams off too many times because of just them coming up short. It just happens. McVay just does something dumb and they come up short. No, this team, if they didn't have in their division the 49ers, and obviously like we're kind of out on the Vikings right now, but they got also the Seahawks, the Cards, but they had the Seahawks too. If that division wasn't as strong as it is, we'd be talking about the Rams being a Super Bowl favorite. They got the defense, they have the offensive weapons, and even when they don't have their best receiver on the field, their quarterback can still go out there and throw it for 70% and 4 touchdowns. So like, yeah, Stafford for me, I think that we might see some type of magic this postseason with just the way that we thought he wasn't going to be like this because of his back at the beginning of the season. And he's just like, no, I'm going to be able to play through this. I'm going to be all right. And he's looked more than just all right.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to add to that. He's by far the most productive quarterback this year as far as leading teams to wins, committing as little mistakes as possible. And, you know, this is a perfect marriage of him as a player. And we talked about Shanahan, you know, Sean McVay, the coach. It's interesting, the Matthew Stafford trade in retrospect, because I think it's one of those rare NFL trades, that both teams feel really good walking away from it, right? Matt Stafford's time was over in Detroit. They weren't going anywhere with him. They needed to kind of refresh and rebuild a little bit. Leads the Rams to the Super Bowl. And then on the flip side, Detroit gets Jared Goff, who had a career resurgence with them. Like, this has been an excellent second act for Matthew Stafford. We've always thought he was a good quarterback. He always put up good numbers in Detroit, but it's just like the organization and team around him was not mature enough. And I mean mature in the sense that like they were not ready to win.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome to see him persevere like through the whole career arc and through this particular season with the injuries that plague him in the beginning of training camp. And this success, man, I love it. It's good vibes.
Absolutely. Big fan. Big fan. All right, you ready to close this out?
Yeah.
The number one for me, and I think we've kind of hinted at it a few times on this show prior to today. The bandwagon, the wheels ain't falling off, man. I'm all for it. This Indiana Jones team with the Colts, man, they got something special brewing out there. Shane Steichen, coach, right?
Coach of the year.
I don't know what the hell he did, but he made the right decision to be like, we're not bringing out Anthony Richardson. Hey, Daniel Jones, come in here. We need you to just hold the fort down. And Daniel Jones was like, no, hold my beer. I got this. Danny Dimes is out there winning games. Not just like along for the ride. Like, he's the main reason why this team is winning at certain points. They have an incredible running back, which for some reason we just forgot. Jonathan Taylor might have tore his ACL a couple years ago, and he came back and is still one of the best running backs in the league. Does not matter. They got receivers out the wazoo, whether it's Alec Perks, whatever his name is.
Alec Burks is a basketball player.
My apologies. Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
They got Pierce, Michael Pittman, Adonai, when he's not fumbling out of the end zone, Adonai
Mitchell.
Yeah, thank you. And then they got Tyler Warren, which, I mean, is that the best rookie right now? Would you say he potentially may be the rookie of the year because he's healthy and putting up numbers each week? It's not like he's not producing. It's crazy to think of.
I'll check on the odds, but I can't think of anyone else that's really stuck out to me.
Yeah, a lot of the rookies are just like
Jackson is probably up there with him.
As start right away, so we'll see. We'll see towards the end of the season. But this win that they just had against the Chargers, I think that cemented it that they're here. The Chargers are supposed to be a really good team, and when you look at the schedule for the Colts, people that were like, I don't know, is they lost to the Rams, right? And you go, oh, that's a good team.
They should have beat the Rams.
Yeah, and like it just happened to be they lost, right? Things happen. The one good team.
Yeah, and don't forget they lost the game because Adonai Mitchell, as you previously stated,
fumbled into the back of the end zone.
Fumble's a very generous way to put that.
I guess he threw it out of the back of the end zone stupidly. So like they're one against a good team. It was the Rams. They lost. I just talked about the Rams being one of the best teams in the league. Then they squeak by the Broncos, and the people are like, oh, they got a soft schedule. Like they're beating up the Raiders. They're beating up the Cardinals, so on and so forth. Chargers are supposed to be one of the best teams in the league. They beat the snot out of them. I don't care what the records, the score says. If you didn't watch that game, don't look at the box score and go, oh, this is a close game. It's only 2 touchdown game. No. The Colts beat the brakes off of the Chargers, and there was a couple of scores late that made it look good. But that Colts team, they were incredible on the defensive line. They caused havoc in the secondary. At any point in time, you have a running back that could take a carry 70 for a touchdown, and Daniel Jones is just not turning the ball over, which it became a problem from him in New York. He's wheeling. I don't want to keep saying wheeling and dealing, but he's out there just managing the ball the way that's supposed to and helping his team win the game. They're not winning because in spite of him, they're winning because of him. So this, I'm in. It took me a while. I needed to get halfway through the season. I know we haven't hit the halfway point, but I'm in on this Colts team this late into the season when it comes to a playoff. And if the magic hits right, a potential Super Bowl contender.
No, say it. Just say it. Stop.
They are. You're right. They are a Super Bowl contender. But this team, they are good. They look good. I don't care what Daniel Jones has done in the past. That shit doesn't matter when you have a structured team around you.
My heart, D, I'm telling you, my heart wants to be with you and say, fucking Colts, Super Bowl 2025, 2026. The only thing that's making me feel scared is Daniel Jones. But here's the thing. This is what I got to tell myself, right? This is what I want to tell myself. And I'm going to tell you this and those watching. You and me sat on this podcast 3 years ago when Daniel Jones took the Giants to a great record into the playoffs. And we kept saying week after week after week, point differential, point differential, point differential. They're squeaking by getting wins. This can't hold up in the playoffs. It's going to fall apart. And what happens, D? They get to the playoffs and lost to the Vikings.
Yeah.
This Colts team with Daniel Jones is not just winning games; they are dog walking opponents. Their point differential is plus 92. They are 30 points better than the second best team, which is the Chiefs behind them, and the Rams. This is a good team, and it's not a fluke. But I'm still scared, Vegas Daniel Jones. I'm still scared. I want to be
fair.
I'm gonna say it. I believe this Colts going to the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna say it, but I'm still scared.
They have listen to the schedule. I get it's gonna be the battle of. I mean, not we missed out on the icy hot bowl. I didn't say it.
Let's do a heat check. Heat check.
Yeah.
The Colts meet the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. Who you got?
I'm always taking 15. Always.
What if it's in Indianapolis?
If the Chiefs are healthy, I'm still going 15.
Colts or Rams in the playoffs?
That can't happen.
Let's just say they get the Super Bowl. Colts or Rams?
Right now, Rams.
See, you're wavering. Colts or Lions?
Colts.
Okay, so that's the line that you're saying for you personally.
Because I've seen Jared Goff.
Best team in the league.
Yeah.
One more heat check because I know the game's going on. Colts or Buccaneers?
Colts.
Okay, so third best team in the league.
Yeah. Yes. I get what you're doing with that one. It is. It has to be. It has to be. This next run right now, though, the next 5 games that they have is going to be huge because what's their record? 6-1.
Here's a good one, really quick. Sorry.
Okay, no, good.
For I don't know whenever they meet, Colts or Eagles.
Colts.
So third best. Sorry, I just want to chat. I forgot that one.
Yeah. I love the Eagles. They shut up a lot of people with their offense, but I don't think that's sustainable. That's not their offense. Their offense isn't to go out there and throw the ball for 300 yards every game. I know they can, and they can shut us up when they need to, but that's not their offense. The Colts, that is their offense. Their offense is fast-paced, just put you in places you don't want to be, and we're just going to score a shit ton of points. That, like, I know we didn't even really talk about it. Like, they've done things that, like, the Peyton Manning Colts haven't done. At the beginning of the season, there was a time frame where they scored, I think, in every possession for, like, 2 games straight. It was something stupid where it was a field goal or a touchdown for like 2 games straight. No punts. Manning hadn't done that. Oh, it's motherfucker's a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is a Hall of Famer, but I'm saying that's how good this team is. So yes, I would say that they would take. If I were a betting man, I'd take the Colts over the Eagles.
Here's a good. Would this be a fair comp? I'm trying to think of like what's a most recent comp of like, beginning of the season, you said to yourself, I didn't think that team would get there, but they won the Super Bowl. I had to go back. Is a fair comp the Philadelphia Eagles when they beat the Patriots?
Yeah, with Nick Foles. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, because yes, based off of the team, but because I don't think their record was great. But no, because I was just talking about their record was great. I was just talking about Carson Wentz was going to lead them to the Super Bowl. I think they were like 13-1 or something like that.
I'm just trying to find precedents of like
the injury.
A team that we didn't really think would win the Super Bowl and surprised us all and made it all
Ravens. The Ravens with Joe Flacco. Because yes, they had a great defense, but Ray Rice as the wide receiver, Torrey Smith Torrey Smith as the wideout, number 1 with Jacoby Jones as the number 2, Joe Flacco as the quarterback, Todd Heap as tight end. Like that one like that, it was a great offense. That was a team that you go, oh my goodness, they actually won. That's this team. That's this team right here. You go, wow, they keep winning. Yes, it may take a random defensive back for the Broncos tripping over their feet when it's 4th and 15 and Joe Flacco throws a 70-yard touchdown. It may take that, but like, yes, I could see this team winning.
When the Ravens won that year, wasn't it also they squeaked by the Patriots because of a drop pass?
I don't remember the Patriots game, but I vividly remember the AFC Championship game where it was 4th and like 100. Flacco threw a fade to Jacoby Jones on the right sideline, and the defensive back forgot that it was 4th and 100, and he just tripped over his feet. Jacoby Jones caught it. It was like, oh, crap, I'm open, and he ran for a touchdown. People are like, great man, he can't win the big game. It's like the motherfucker scored 50 points and lost. How is that Peyton Manning's fault? That was when I was defending Peyton Manning. It was the greatest of all time.
That was a good final one to end with. Yeah. I'm glad you saved the one for last.
I almost, just because of the way that I was doing my writing, it was Stafford last, and I was like, I feel like I don't want to end on that one. I think the better one is Colts.
All right, I'm
the producer on that one.
All right, let's do the Grizz's 5, and then we'll get at it for the day. I'm just going to find my Grizz's 5 music.
Welcome to a segment so unique, so entertaining, and definitely not a rip-off of Frizz's 5. And even if it's a rip-off of Frizz's 5, it's probably way better. It's time to rank some stuff with Trudeau. It's time for Grizz's 5.
All right, there's probably a lot of new heads in this chat wondering what the hell's going on. So this is kind of a riff off of D. He does like a Frizz's 5, a top 5 list. Sometimes I do a top 5 list. So in light of the NBA season starting tomorrow, I wanted to take a quick step back and not talk about the first take clickbaity storylines that everyone knows about. Is it LeBron's last season? What are the Celtics doing? Are they going to go for it? Is Jason Tatum coming back? The Knicks, like the big market teams.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to find 5 NBA storylines that I'm personally, as a big time NBA fan, keeping my eye on this season, just because I find them interesting.
Okay.
All right. Number 1 that I find interesting, and I'm curious how this plays out over the course of the season, the Toronto Raptors roster experiment. I can't give myself the yay because the yay button is the same button as the music. So you can give me a yay if you want, D.
You get that one?
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. So hear me out, the Raptors. They're already in the first apron. They are locked in with their roster. It's a very expensive roster.
Mm-hmm.
They traded last year for Brandon Ingram. So they're starting 5, right? Emmanuel Quickly, who they gave a big contract to. RJ Barrett. Jakob Poeltl. Brandon Ingram. And I'm missing one. Oh, Scotty Barnes,
Yes.
right? They have a very top-heavy roster that does not seem to fit together, and they're kind of stuck with that roster. So this could go one of 2 ways. Like, can this actually be a good core 5? Because this roster is all pretty good players, like no alpha, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go one of 2 ways. Are they going to do that, or is it going to be a complete and utter failure? This thing gets completely torn down. So that's like kind of like a little low-key storyline. I'm interested. You have any interest in that one, D?
Tough because I feel like the mixture of Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram is going to be very weird 1-2 combo. And Quickly's not a main point guard, right? Like he's stuck between being a playmaker and a scorer.
Yeah.
So like he's not going to get you 25 a game, but he's also not going to get you like 10 to 15 assists a game either. He's like a solid 14 and 6 as a point guard. I don't know if that's going to be enough firepower to keep you consistent in the East.
Well, also, you got 5 guys who are very ball dominant as well. Like all of these guys are better with the ball in their hands. So like it's a very interesting build, and the East is open a little bit. So like what happens with this team? I don't know. So I just, something that me personally, I'm going to watch the Raptors a little bit and see what happens with them. This one's an interesting one. I like.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 storyline to follow, and there's a follow-up on this, the Oklahoma City Thunder draft picks. Not their own draft pick. They own, in this upcoming draft, Utah's first-round draft pick, 1 to 8 protected, which would mean Utah is probably taken pretty hard. But hear me out on this second one. Did you know that the Thunder also own the Philadelphia 76ers draft pick this upcoming year?
Unprotected?
Top 1 to 4 protected.
So if they're 5th, they keep it.
So if they're 5th, the Thunder get it.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm intrigued. That's interesting, right? Because if things start getting a little weird for Philly, Joel starts missing games, Paul George starts missing games, Philly is heavily incentivized. If they're like 7th worst team in the league, they're heavily incentivized to dump it all to retain that draft pick. So that's just something I'm keeping my eye on. Like if Philly starts off slow, the Thunder own their draft pick unless they're extremely bad. So just something to keep your eye on.
Yeah, I said that I was all in with VJ Edgecombe as like my favorite player in this past recent draft. I will probably be watching a good amount of Philly games because of that. I just like the way that he played when he was in college. least with the highlights that I got to see in college, very Ant Edwards like. Maxi's going to want to be a one on a winning team though, because I'm pretty sure he's got contract time coming up soon, right?
I'll check his contract right now while you talk.
I feel like it's not like he's been paid by Philly. I feel like he's got a contract coming up, which would mean you don't want to be on a tanking team if you haven't been paid yet. You want to try to get your bread. He's not a max guy, I don't believe.
Well, he's signed for the next 1, 2, 3 years after this. So he's got his bag. He's got a pretty good salary, averaging about $40 million a year. So like he's solid.
If that's the case, then that changes it. Then potentially then Maxi's still not gonna. I know Maxi's got it. I believe him. I believe in him. I don't believe in Joel's unfortunate injury-prone body. I don't believe in Paul George anymore. He was and still is one of my favorite players of all time, but he's past his prime. He's past whatever you get after your prime. He's past that, and he's kind of just here for a check. I think he's more known for his podcast than actually being on the court. So, yeah, that's going to be very interesting for OKC. If this upcoming draft class is potentially nasty and Philly is a teetering playoff team and they end up like missing it, and then OKC gets their pick with how good they already are.
Yes, I'm just saying keep an eye on that because, again, that could really determine the 76ers season. All right, here's an interesting one. My third most intriguing underrated NBA storyline, Lauri Markkanen.
Okay.
A guy who was an all-star 2 years ago.
Was in Utah.
In Utah. I heard the applause, so I slowed down. Yeah, a guy who was an all-star 2 years ago in Utah. Obviously, the Utah Jazz have been the biggest culprits of tanking the past several years. Did not get traded this last season. Do you want to know why? Because of when he signed his extension, he signed it exactly the day after. Basically, there's a let me try to word this correctly for the audience. There's a certain time period after you sign an extension where you cannot be traded. He signed his contract the day after that, cutoff of like when he could be traded. More or less to say, Lauri Markkanen, based on when he signed his extension, could not have been traded last year. He was ineligible for trading. He basically had a
window between when he signed to when the trade.
He basically had a no trade clause last year. Lauri Markkanen is going to be an extremely interesting story to follow this year because I would assume he'd be incentivized and the Jazz would be incentivized for him to show up early in the season.
Get him out of there.
And there are teams like the Warriors who have shown great interest in Lauri. There are other contenders that have shown interest in him and his skill set. He's going to be the most fascinating trade candidate this season moving into like the trade deadline. I would be shocked if he was not traded like a week or two before the deadline, and he could be a very, very major piece to a championship contender.
Well, they have their guys. They have their three that they could probably build around: Isaiah Collier, Ace Bailey, and Walker Kessler. So, like, I think he's definitely a movable piece. Where he goes is going to be determined on who's a buyer around. You say Dallas?
No. I was going to say, now think of this too. We just talked about the Thunder draft picks.
Yep.
Thunder owns Utah's first round pick this year, 1 day protected. So my point is they have zero incentive to actually succeed this year.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm with you. That's not it's a story that's not being talked about, but I see him being moved before the trade deadline this year.
He could, like, this is not hyperbole. He could decide an NBA championship this year, depending on what they do with him.
Yeah, he's a 7-footer that can stretch the floor and can't really defend, but can rebound. So 7-footer, it's not like 7-footer that can shoot. It's not like that's just everywhere in the league.
All right, my second biggest under-discussed NBA storyline. The Pelicans, unprotected first-round pick this year.
Ooh. Is it owned by... Oh, sorry, I'll give you a sounder. I used to doing this.
To get Derek Queen in the draft, the Pelicans traded up with the Atlanta Hawks and gave them a first-round pick that's unprotected. Meaning, if the Pelicans find themselves in an unfavorable position, which they're only projected 30 wins, if Zion gets hurt, if the team doesn't work out, the Hawks could find themselves with a top 5 lottery pick in a very stacked draft class. So I am fascinated to see what happens with the Pelicans this year, because this Hawks team is low-key very good.
Yes, especially for out east.
And if this team finds himself lucking into like a top 3 pick in the lottery in a stacked draft class, it could be like a Celtics level gift when they got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So I'm super interested in like the Pelicans overall, is to say, like, are they actually going to perform to the level where that pick is not as valuable? Because they seem to believe that, but no one else believes it. And I'm fascinated to see what happens to the Pelicans this year.
Yeah, I mean, they have to win. They got to keep their franchise. I feel like that's the more important thing, is if they don't win, they might be shipped out of New Orleans. Just talks of them going back to Seattle because of this whole issue. It's tough because that roster's not good. It really isn't. I don't care which. I know they got Jordan Poole that is came out from Washington. He did his best when he was by himself in Washington, and now they kind of got a type of point guard with him. But like he was the best 6 man, not really a starter. Trey Murphy, sure, 3-and-D wing. Herbert Jones isn't really gonna turn the needle anymore for you guys. Like, and then your hope is just Zion is your 25 and 12 guy, but it's always going to come down to health. He looks great. He looks phenomenal. Looks like an absolute tank in preseason. I love that. Saw the 360 dunk like he was back in high school. It looked phenomenal. But it's an 82 game season, and he hasn't made it through 82 games since he's been drafted.
No DeJounte Murray for a good chunk of the season, and they're starting, from what I understand, rookie point guard Jeremiah Fears.
So Poole is coming off the bench.
I think, could they not start Poole alongside him?
That means you're sitting Trey Murphy.
Isn't Trey Murphy hurt to start the season?
Oh, he doesn't have an injury tag right now.
No, it's the other Murphy I'm thinking of. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man, if they're going to be relying on a rookie point guard for heavy minutes, like, that's not usually a good recipe for success.
Right. Yeah.
Which brings me to the most interesting story to line, because this all ties in. It's like a web of storylines.
Okay.
My most interesting storyline going into this upcoming season that's not being talked enough
I don't have a drum roll.
by the mainstream media. I got myself. One, Ice Trae Young is on an expiring contract and has not been extended by the Atlanta Hawks.
Ooh, let me get you that.
He wants the back the Brinks truck up money, and the Atlanta Hawks are like, I don't know. Now, the Atlanta Hawks had just signed a shit ton of contracts too this week. Jalen Johnson gets extended. The Great Barrier Reef thief gets extended. They bring in Kristaps Porzingis. They are spending money like it's going out of style, but they have not extended Trae Young. They have an unprotected Pelicans pick that we think could be a top 5 pick. Trae Young, if this does not become a successful playoff team this year, could be done at Atlanta. They have so many outs at this point, and they are spending money on other guys, Jalen Johnson specifically, who they believe could be the franchise cornerstone. I think this season is huge for Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks and their future relationship. I don't know what's going to happen with this team, but if they do flame out in the first round, or if they don't look great this year, they've shown that they are ready to move on. Like, this is like, no one really talks about Trae Young because it's Atlanta, but this is fascinating because there are so many ways this could go for Atlanta.
I was doing this because I was like, send him to LA, because it still hasn't really sat down that we traded for Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, that's a perfect landing spot. But once I removed LA from that, I'm like, ooh, where would he go that he'd be potentially successful, which would suck for him? You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to be all NBA, so they are forced hand-wise to pay him, because don't they save money by paying him because of making a specific tier?
There are like different qualifiers as far as like how much you get in a super max contract. Like if you were an all NBA player, if you win one of the major awards like defensive player of the year, I don't think 6-man of the year counts, but one of those like DPOY MVP, which you'd be an all NBA player at that point. But
yep,
you get my point.
Yeah, I mean, look, the writing's on the wall that the ice tray hasn't worked as much. They were in Eastern Conference, they were in the Eastern Conference Championship a couple of years ago. Granted, it was a very injury-plagued Eastern Conference. So could it happen again? I didn't realize my dog looks like he's just literally dead right here. I just looked over my shoulder and saw him there. But if they have, you said it, I haven't looked at this upcoming draft class, but if they if the wheels spin out in New Orleans and there's a top
that's what all works together.
5'10" point guard, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love Trey, but the brother's small and not as good of a playmaking shooter as a Steph Curry to get away with not being able to play defense. That's not the recipe for success, right? Small point guards usually hold you back. We've seen it in New York, unfortunately, with Jalen Brunson. So if they have the ability to move him, keep that top 5, top 6 pick, and there's a guy in college that's 6'4" and can stretch the floor, yeah, we might see the last days. Trey goes to Miami or some shit like that.
There are so many things that could change the Atlanta Hawks future. Again, could they land the number 1 pick via the New Orleans Pelicans? Yes. At that point, see you later, Trey.
Yeah.
Is there a world where Trey underperforms and they look at themselves and say, we have a star in Jalen Johnson, and Jalen Johnson becomes an all-NBA player? Yes. Like, there are so many different things that could happen with this team that could change the landscape of the NBA. And the Hawks are in a great position. We'll just say that because they have so many outs in this situation. I will say to Trey's defense, I think he's a good player. And I think that the Hawks have built this roster to cover up his weaknesses by getting long wing defenders that could cover up his defensive inefficiencies. But I'm intrigued, man. I'm intrigued by a lot of weird NBA storylines that no one's talking about.
I'm looking at the upcoming draft class. There's that kid from Brockton, right? Isn't that the name? The AJ.
The kid that's at BYU right now is supposed to be the best pick in the draft.
That's him. He was in Brockton.
He's from Brockton?
Yeah. He didn't play a lick at Brockton. He wasn't a Brockton boxer, but like he played in Brockton prep schools.
Shout out Massachusetts. Let's go.
Big shout to Brockton, baby. City of Champs. That's where I was born. They put that water tower up there the year I was born. I would say.
That's for you.
Didn't.
Good show today. We're gonna get to closing takes. I just want to shout out to all the people watching live. You guys have been awesome with the chats, the comments, and showing us your support. So thank you all for being here. But before we get out of here, let's do our closing takes.
Do it.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
All right, D, it's closing takes for those who are new here. It's our last segment of the show. Me and D get 1 take each. Can be about a topic of the day, can be about pop culture, can be about anything we want. It's our time to shine. I'm kicking us off.
No. Because you're not stealing my show on this one. I don't know if we're on the same one. I gotta do this one because
all right, brother. It's on you.
I don't care what anybody else says. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player I have ever seen in my entire life. We can share the closing takes on this one because you know a little bit more baseball than I do. But I've never seen this. Like, this dude has me watching baseball. The fact that he went out there, I'm pretty sure it was, 6 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 3 home runs. One of them was like a 500-foot shot to center field. Like, I don't care what you say about Babe Ruth. I get it. My GOAT is still Barry Bonds. I got to watch that. But this man, Ohtani, is on his heels because he could go out there and strike out everybody that's batting and then get up to plate and just be like, hey, I'm not going to do the Gary Sheffield. I'm not going to do, the A-Rod moving in the plate. He's just going to sit there. As soon as the ball gets close to the plate, he's launching that mother for about 500 feet. Like, it's ridiculous. So I was able to watch. Look, this is how much it got me off my seat. Is I was watching the game. I fell asleep. He hit a home run. I fell asleep because I think it was a Friday night game. I was exhausted. Watched the first home run, fell asleep. Woke up to people saying, "Yo, Ohtani hit another one." I let me get crushed above my eyes. All right, word. I missed that one. Fell back asleep. And then it got another text later. He hit another one. I'm like, there's no way I keep missing this dude hitting home runs. But the fact that I was able to go back and see him with the strikeouts, the hits, the home runs, the domination from both infield, outfield, whatever it is, this guy is going down as the greatest of all time when it comes to baseball player.
I am legit mad.
Good.
Good D. By the way, good call to go first because that was even my closing take. Listen, I want to ISO real quick on this one. Shohei Ohtani's the GOAT. I don't care what anyone says. He's the greatest baseball player we've ever seen. He's the first one to join the 50-50 club, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. I don't give a shit about Babe Ruth, okay? He was hitting home runs off of guys throwing 65 miles per hour, a bunch of plumbers. Babe Ruth would never steal 50 bases in his life if his life depended on it. Shohei is something we've never seen before in any sport, ever. And I am so sick and tired of the old heads like Michael Wilbon, okay, gatekeeping the sport of baseball, saying, well, he's nowhere near Babe Ruth. Maybe we start talking about, Hank Aaron. He's almost in that Hank Aaron territory. No, enough of that. Shohei has done something we've never seen before, and you don't have to give me these old heads talking about how they played back in the 60s and 70s. I can see it with my eyes. I can see it with the numbers. There is no one like Shohei Ohtani. He is the GOAT of baseball.
I was waiting for it because you plugged earlier in our text chain that you're just pissed off at Michael Wilbon, but you didn't say what it was about. And I was like, this whole show, you haven't touched on anything about why you're pissed off about Michael Wilbon. But I'm guessing you were watching Pardon the Interruption, and he was like, you know what, Ohtani, you're not the greatest of all time. It's like, no, brother, we can't argue with this shit anymore. Like, it's just there. Until like he gets injured or gets caught gambling somewhere, which whatever. Like, I don't care. They make him play baseball. Like, yes, everything that I've seen, he's the best, the greatest of all time.
I'm just so tired of like Michael Wilbon and the old heads who clearly don't watch the games themselves, just spout opinions about how everything was better back in my day, waving their cane from their porch. It's like, do you enjoy watching sports if you're just going to say everything was better back in the day? Like, what enjoyment do you get by just shitting on new athletes? I don't get it. Since you stole my closing take, I'll go real quick on something. I actually had a backup, so thankfully I did have a backup for today. Came prepared. I wanted to follow up on the Kawhi Leonard aspiration story from earlier in the year.
Yeah.
So I don't need to go into the full thing in top to bottom details, but like basically they did an endorsement deal, this company, the shady company with Kawhi. And this week from the Wall Street Journal, there was some more reporting done outside of Pablo Torre, and it got quotes from executives in the company who were on the record saying they didn't understand this deal and were not for it. Can I read some of the quotes?
Yeah, go ahead.
One executive says, if you want to do a talent deal, maybe we should shop around, do some research, consider a different team. You can't just commit a $48 million spend without it. Totally agree, another executive responded. Kawhi is a regional star. He doesn't have the charisma of a Steph Curry, LeBron, etc. CEO Andre Cherny judged the deal not to be worth doing. Multiple other executives decided that it would be a bad idea to sign a $48 million deal with Kawhi. 1 week later, the owner signs a $48 million endorsement deal with Kawhi, who again does zero endorsements for the company. How much more do you need to see before you know that there was something very shady going on here?
Collusion. Not only collusion, but the Clippers, hey man, they could be in some serious, they're gonna be in some serious trouble. I mean, what would David Stern do? RIP, but like
He would break the hammer.
Yeah. That's the one thing that like people are getting away with
Silver?
With Silver is like he's just not as like demanding, and people hated Stern for how strict he was, and then you look back and go, no, that's what the league kind of needed at that time, and now you got shit like this that's potentially happening. So this is a big stain on the NBA if that's the case, where we're opening doors of people that are breaking specific contract rules to pay people under the table, essentially. Like, that's because I've always thought it, right? Not to say that, like, I'm not an NFL player, I'm not a professional sports player, but like, I've always thought it's like, why don't you just sign LeBron James for $5 million? Give an example. Sign LeBron James for $5 million, but like the team owner that's a billionaire gives him $70 million cash. It's like, oh, because you can't do that. Like, that's just against the rules. Like, you literally, that's cheating. Can't do that. And now he's being brought up as part of that being the example. So this is going to get ugly. I don't want to see. Well, you think it's going to get swept under the rug because Kawhi?
Here's the thing.
Can't be. He's not like he's a superstar.
Let me ask you this.
Yep.
Do you think the rest of the owners vehemently want to see Steve Ballmer burned at the stake?
No.
Because they might have skeletons in their closets they don't want taken out. Let me ask you the second follow-up question. Do you think NBA players want to see Steve Ballmer burned at the stake?
No.
Because they like the idea of like,
getting paid under the table, yeah.
Well, if we can normalize this a little bit, I don't think it's a bad thing for us, is it? So then who really wants bloodshed?
I don't
just
know.
The fans, just the uproar? Because I feel like everyone in the NBA is probably like, "Ooh, we wish this would just go away."
But I guess, but like it's ugly. It's ugly. It opens the doors for a lot of shit if this goes through. I keep cursing. Opens the door for a lot of stuff if this goes through without there being like any. If they find evidence that is like concrete, and they're just like, here's a couple of draft picks that you lose for it. It's going to get ugly salary cap wise. You're going to see the NFL or NBA PA won't allow superstars to take team discounts, right? But you're just opening the door for that to happen more and more.
That's
because this is as public as it gets. For just a quick recap, NBA, NFL, maybe not Major League, but like the hard cap that you have, the fact that you would be like, if I have $100 million, I would have to associate LeBron James with $75 million. So that means I only have 25 to allocate. And then you could be like, nah, let me give him 20 and then sneakily give him 30 million. Now, obviously you have an advantage because of that extra bread. So like, yeah, it's dirty money, man. It's dirty money.
Interesting, man. It's just getting worse. D, excellent show today. I think it was a phenomenal show. Thank you guys all for watching and commenting in the chats and listening on a podcast the next day. D, I think it's that time.
It is that time for us to get up out of here. So we couldn't appreciate you guys anymore, just like Trudeau said. Whether you guys were hitting us up on any of the platforms, again, you can find us on social media-wise. YouTube. I see that there was a couple people from YouTube. Appreciate you make a change. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitch. Your boy DFrizzy_Frizz5. Not only do I podcast, but your boy plays 2K and college football. Hit us up on all of our socials, especially the newest and the greatest one because of our hot takes. The Tiki Talk, baby. We love it. I love the arguing that I see on that. It like makes my day when I see people arguing about our takes. The best quote of all time: make podcast equipment more expensive. Love that one. Keep it coming, please. Because I'm going to be on this mic. I don't give a damn what you think. I do care. But I'm going to still talk my shit because that's also the website's at the bottom, frizzandthegrizz.com. Find us there. You can find us on our schedules, Monday nights. Sometimes we switch it because we 9-to-5ers. We fathers. We got to get our bread. Do those things. Please make sure. The next day it goes live. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever it is that you find your podcast. Trudeau usually hits us up around 10 a.m. or wherever he gets his lazy ass out of bed. As we say, hey, Nate, I appreciate the sub. Thank you. All the subs that come to our channel go in the right way. It's used to upgrade our equipment, used to keep our servers up for our website. I promise you it goes to a great place. So thank you for the gift of sub. And that goes to that boy Liar, baby. Appreciate you being in here. Wrap it up. Is that what you're saying? Man, wrap up. I'm going to say up about here and stay as long as I can. Please make sure. Be a friend. Say something nice. You never know what it could do for someone. Make sure y'all take care of y'all mentals. Take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken and y'all children. We'll catch you on the rebound. Peace.
I am a better player, but in times like this, it's an opportunity to continue to glorify the Lord, even through the toughest circumstances. I know I'm better than this. I know I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes. Like that's not me.